Mr. Speaker, I rise to highlight the importance of the Bermuda Plan process in protecting our remaining open spaces. Mr. Speaker, you will remember during the government's inaugural 2017 speech from the throne, we committed to, and I quote, to identify the open spaces that must be protected for generations to come. Legislation will be introduced to take this protection beyond ministerial discretion. However, in order for this important commitment to be met, it is essential that we have an appropriate framework in place to manage and plan for a balanced approach towards how we utilize our land. Mr. Speaker, the Department of Planning has conducted a full review of the Bermuda Plan 2008 and prepared a new draft Bermuda Plan 2018. The draft Bermuda Plan 2018 is currently the subject of an extensive public consultation exercise whereby people can submit objections or representations prior to the finalization of the plan. Mr. Speaker, the draft Bermuda Plan 2018 is based upon three overarching strategies which guide the objectives, policies, and zonings set out within the draft plan. The three strategies are the development strategy, the community strategy, and the conservation strategy. The three complementary strategies provide a balanced framework for making informed decisions on planning applications. In terms of the development strategy, it is essential that we have enough land to appropriate in appropriate locations for different types of development to sustain and support economic growth for our island. The draft Bermuda Plan 2018, therefore, sets out zonings for commercial, industrial, institutional, tourism, and residential land uses to support the economic health of Bermuda. The community strategy is aimed at encouraging and promoting healthy lifestyles, healthy eating, and physical exercise, and fostering a sense of community and social interaction. The draft Bermuda Plan 2018 contains a new chapter on healthy communities, which seeks to address these issues whilst also providing the planning framework for the creation of future community action plans. The conservation strategy focuses on protecting ecologically sensitive areas and habitats, open spaces, and agricultural land. This includes agriculture reserves, woodland reserves, parks, nature reserves, coastal reserves, open space reserves, and recreational areas. Mr. Speaker, the draft Bermuda Plan 2018 was published on the 3rd of December and is subject to a 3-month public consultation period which finishes on Friday, 15th of March, 2019. Throughout this period, the Department of Planning is holding public exhibitions at venues in the city of Hamilton, Dockyard, and the town of St. George, and the farmers market in the Botanical Gardens, as well as holding presentations and meetings with stakeholders. Members of the public are invited to talk to technical officers to learn how the draft plan affects them and to submit objections and comments on any of the objectives, policies, or zonings in the draft plan by the 15th of March. Mr. Speaker, the draft plan 2018 can play an important part in assisting with the delivery of the government's health strategy and crop strategy by utilizing agricultural land for local food production and encouraging the use of open spaces for passive and active recreation. The Department of Planning will be working alongside the parish councils and parish communities to prepare community action plans and facilitate community improvements. These initiatives may include the creation of community gardens in underutilized areas of agriculture reserve where people can learn the fundamental skills required to grow crops. The preparation of an island-wide development plan is a complex and time-consuming process which must take into account a wide range of issues. The draft Bermuda Plan is based on sound evidence, and members of the public are strongly encouraged to provide their input into the plan through the ongoing public consultation process. Mr. Speaker, I would like to remind honorable members and the general public that the consultation exercise concludes on Friday, the 15th of March. Following the conclusion of the public consultation period, all objections and representations will be fully considered by technical officers within the Department of Planning before the commencement of a tribunal. The tribunal will then make recommendations to the Minister of Home Affairs before the plan is finalized. Once the plan is finalized, we intend to fulfill our throne speech commitments to introduce legislation to protect the designation of the island's important conservation agricultural areas and open spaces. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.